Hey everybody, this is Lindsay with Stampin' with Lindsay. I made a post last night and this morning about this cute little surprise pop-up cube card type box. It's great to like hold a little gift card and give for Christmas, or if you've got a birthday coming up, you can make one. So I'll just kind of demonstrate how it works here. So you squish the box flat, put it inside your little drawer. Then you would gift it like this so that when the person opens the box, their little cube pops out. Okay, so this is the one I made last night and that I posted. But I wanted to make another one with some instructions and templates for you so that you can attempt to make this yourself at home. So I'm just going to put this aside. Now, this is going to be a lot of steps, so be prepared for a long video. Now I made some templates, so hopefully you can see this. You're going to need 4 pieces of cardstock, 2 of them the same color, that will make your box. This piece of paper measures 6.5 inches by 9.5 inches. On the short side, it's scored at 1/2 inch, 3.5 inch, and on the long side, it's scored at 1/2 inch, 3.5 inch, 6.5 inch. And then we're going to be doing, everywhere you see where it's shaded, those are all going to be snipped and cut, and you'll get this like weird shape, okay? So that's one piece of paper. Your next piece of paper will be 7 inches by 9 inches. On the short side, it'll be scored at 1/2 inch, 3.5 inch, and 6.5 inch. And then on the long side, it'll be scored at 3 inches and 6 inches. And again, there's going to be a lot of cutting and trimming so that you'll get this odd shape. I am going to take better pictures of these and upload them onto my blog with instructions. So if after this video you want to attempt it yourself, you can go and get the templates there, okay? Your third piece of paper you're going to need is one that measures 10.25 inches by 7.25 inches. And this is to make your kind of drawer, your box bottom, okay? So this is what it'll look like. You'll score it on the short side at 1 inch, 2 inch, 5.25 inch, and 6.25 inch. And then on the long side, you'll score it at 1 inch, 2 inch, 8.25 inch, and 9.25 inch, okay? And then you'll do a couple of punches here for your ribbon, but I'll go through all this when I make it, okay? And then your last one is your sleeve for your box. So this piece measures 6.5 inches by 10.25 inches, and you're only going to score it on the long side at 1.5 inches, 2 5/8, 5 7/8, and then at 7 inches. Okay. Now I'm just going to set these aside for a moment. Okay, and the set we're going to use today is the Brightly Gleaming Suite. I'm actually going to use the whole suite, not just the bundle. This right here is the bundle, so it includes your cling stamp set as well as your 2 ornament punches. The suite also includes your foil pieces, your Brightly Gleaming DSB, and these cute little star design elements. It also includes this ribbon, which says Merry Christmas, as you can see. And then the hammered metal 3D embossing folder. With all this, I'm also going to include one of our host sets that is available to everyone who submits a qualifying order of $200. This one is called The Greatest Part of Christmas. And as you can see here, there's a bunch of different sayings, all perfect for a Christmas card, either the inside or the outside. Okay. So now that I've kind of showed you the suite, I'm going to set it aside. I did prep a lot of stuff ahead of time, just so that this video wouldn't be too long. So I'm just going to set those stamp sets aside for now. Okay. And I'll get my paper that I'm going to use. So like I said, you're going to need 4 pieces of cardstock. So this green one this is our Mossy Meadow. This one I'm going to use for my little drawer. Okay, but I'll set that aside for now. This one will be my sleeve. This is our Pretty Peacock. And then these two here, this is Night of Navy. I'm going to use these to create our cube. Okay. So let's see. We'll start with the, is this the one? This one, okay. So as you can see, my cardstock is cut to fit. Okay. I'm going to start with the 6.5 by 9.5. And I'm going to get my Simply Scored. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this too well. So again, this is 6.5 inches by 9.5 inches. And I'm going to score it on the short side at 1/2 inch and 3.5 inches. And then on the long side, I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch and 3.5 inches. And then again at 6.5 inches. Okay. Set this aside for now. Now there's a couple other score lines you need to make. So I am going to get out, I've got this little score here. You know what? It'll be easier if I show you this afterwards. So I'm going to trim off all my excess right now. So I'm going to get my ruler and a pencil. Ooh. Sorry, this is not, hopefully you guys can see this. So I've got my 1/2 inch line here, my 3.5 inch line here, just so that you can see where it is. And then across, there's a cube box right here. Across this box, I am going to draw a line in pencil diagonally, and this piece we're going to get rid of. Okay. And at the, I hope you guys can see this okay, at the, there's a box at the bottom. We're going to do the same thing and cut that one diagonally. So I'm going to draw a pencil. Now you could use your cutter to do this, but I'm someone who does like to fussy cut, so. And then on the left side of your paper, when you're looking at it where you've got the 1/2 inch here and a 1/2 inch there, your middle box on this side, you'll want to cut in half as well. So I'm just going to draw. And again, I'll upload these instructions, so if this isn't clear, don't worry about it, okay? I will have it all fixed for you. This piece of paper is probably pretty dark. You guys can't see it quite well, but I'll kind of show you now. So I'm going to cut off this top one with my little snips here. Just like that. And I'll cut off this corner. Now you are going to have a lot of scraps with this little box card, I guess is what you would call it. But you can always save your scraps and use them to decorate the inside. Now on this side, at the at the bottom, I guess towards you, I'm going to cut up the score line to the start of this second box. And then that's where I've drawn my pencil line. So then I'll go and then cut out a diagonal. So you'll end up with this sort of shape here. I'm just going to clear these away. Okay, so you'll end up with this shape, okay? You're also going to want to cut off this little corner here. So, just like so. Hope you guys can see this okay. Really trying to get it all in. Maybe if I bring my camera up a little bit. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see this. So you've got this really odd shape here, okay? Now I'm just going to burnish all the edges. So I'm going to get my scoring tool here. Very well used, as you can see. And I'm just going to burnish all the edges. So fold it one way, the other way, this one this way, the other way. Just using my bone folder here just to Get a nice fold on them. A couple more. I think probably cutting everything is what takes the longest on this project. So if this is something you're gonna make, I'd say give yourself an hour or two at least. I've made a couple of these now, so I'm a little bit faster at it. Now I mentioned there was gonna be a couple other score lines you need, and the one you're gonna need is right down the middle. So what you'll do is you'll kind of line up this point of this cube with this point of this cube, fold it right in half. Now you can use your scoring tool if you want, but it's kind of easier to just fold it in half and then use your bone folder to smooth out that crease. So I did it that way, and then I'm just going to fold it this way as well. Burnish that edge a little bit better. The other score line you're going to need is on this little like triangle piece. You're going to want to fold it in half. Just like so. And burnish it with your bone folder. Okay. Alright, so here's this odd piece with all these different folds over it, okay? Now we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so this will be your 7-inch paper by 9-inch paper. And again, I'm going to bring out the scoring tool. And on the short side, I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch, and then 3.5 inches, and then 6.5 inches. Okay, and then on the long side, you're going to score it at 3 inches and 6 inches. Okay. Set my scoring tool aside. We'll get out my ruler again. So this top square, you're going to cut in half. So I'm going to draw my cut line. This bottom square on the same side is going to get cut in half. Just like so. And then again on this one you'll be cutting up, and then this second square in the middle will get cut at a diagonal. You'll also cut off a little piece over here. Okay, so now I'm just going to do all my cutting. So again, you can use your paper trimmer to do this if you're not very good at hand cutting. But don't be ashamed if you're not, because there's not a lot of people that are. I just find that I have a very steady hand and I have no problem at all hand cutting this. And cut off this little piece here. This is the last and largest cut. Oh, going a little crooked on this one. There we go. Now, as you can see, there is going to be a lot of like extra paper left over. So like I said, you can use this to decorate your cube, and you'll see what I mean kind of when I assemble it. Just so that none of this goes to waste. The only piece that probably will is this little one here. Okay, set that aside. So here's this funny shape again, and we're just going to fold and burnish all the edges. Just like that. So again, I'm gonna post this video. It's gonna be on YouTube. So if you're watching it on YouTube and you want the instructions, you'll just have to head over to my blog. It's stampinwithlindsayl.blogspot.com, and I will upload some pictures of the directions for you. Okay, I've got all those. Okay, now same thing with this. With this square, you're going to match this corner with this corner on this square. So it's kind of like folding it in half. And burnish the edge with a bone folder. Again, if you've got a score on your cutting tool, you could also do it. Then this little triangle flap, you're going to fold it in half as well. So basically you're doing the same thing twice, but with two different size pieces of paper. Okay. Flip it over and do it one more time. Okay. Oh, now for assembly. Let's see if I can remember. So you're going to have one like this. And you're almost going to make, to me this kind of looks like a butterfly. See how it is? Kind of looks like a butterfly. And I'm going to use tear tape. This tear and tape adhesive. So I'm just going to flip this over and put this, so this will go on this little flap here. Just going to take your pick tool, because I have fake nails and have a hard time grabbing the backing off this tape. There we go. So I'll line this up. Glue that little flap down, just like that. Okay, so then what you're going to do is kind of fold, if you're looking at it like a butterfly, take the large wings and fold them inwards, just like that. And you'll do your tear and tape adhesive again. Use my take your pick tool again. Just like so. And then I'm going to fold. Now you've kind of got your cube. So if you go like this, then you've got your cube shape. You see? So this bottom portion of the box that's sticking up, I'm going to fold in now. I'm just going to take my bone folder and kind of burnish everything a little bit more. Okay, so here's the trick on how to get it popped up, okay? What am I going to do? Actually, I'm going to decorate it first, because I think that it's easier for me to decorate my box when it's laying flat. So I've actually already done up 4 squares. Each of these squares here measure 2.75 inches by 2.75 inches. And this is what I mean by you could use the scrap. So like on this one, for example, I used a scrap to stamp and punch out an ornament. So you could do that, okay? So I'm going to use some tear and tape adhesive on each one of these squares. Bear with me a moment. Decorate this little card. We'll put that one there. We'll put this one here. Again, we'll use our tear and tape. And this is our, I used the Brightly Gleaming DSP, so I didn't show it to you at the beginning of the video, but this is some different samples of it, so you can kind of get an idea that it's very gold. All the colors in this set are Mossy Meadow, Very Vanilla, Night of Navy, and Pretty Peacock. As well as this lovely kind of, it's almost like a rose gold. Okay, so I'll flip this over and I'll put some more tear and tape on this one. So these 2 pieces I used those foil elements. And they are very delicate, so if you do end up getting this suite, I highly suggest, if you don't already have it, to get Mono Multi Glue, because it's your best way to attach them to the box. Okay, and our last square. I like using tear and tape adhesive for projects like this because it is much stickier than any other kind of tape, so it tends to hold your cube in shape. Okay, just like that. So there you go. So now you've got this box. Super cute, right? Okay. Now what you're going to need is just a hand punch to do a single punch, okay? Now what I've been using is I have one of the old crocodiles, so, and it's got a little punch on it. So I've been just going in about 1/2 inch from the corner, just punching this like little eye. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And this is where you're going to attach your little elastic. So there's an elastic that will help this pop open into a cube, and I'll show you how that works, okay? Now, on each side up here is you'll just cut all the way to your little punched out thing there. Just cut like a little wedge out, just like that. Okay, you see that? And do the same thing on the other side. Doesn't have to be a large wedge, just enough to get your elastic through the paper there. Okay. Then I'm going to take my elastic. Now I've found this size elastic that I have is a little bit too loose, so I like to add a couple of knots to the middle of it. And one more. So it just makes it shorter. If you've got a smaller elastic, you won't need to do that step, okay? So now what you'll do is you'll flip these corners in, just like that. So then you've got it like this, and then you take your elastic and you hook it on one side and put it into your little punched hole there. And then you put it, hopefully you guys can see this, and you hook it on the other side so that it sits in that little hole that you punched. There, see, just like that. You can see your elastic now. So now it holds the box open. So now you simply just have to glue these flaps down. So I'm going to use my Tear and Tape adhesive again. I'm going to put it on these little flaps. Put it on this one as well. You could decorate your cube after you assemble it, but I just find when it's flat it's easier to glue things to it. Okay, so I'll do this one first, just like that. We'll do this side. Just like so. Ooh. Just gonna squish it. There we go. Just gonna squish it all together. And there you go. See, that's how your box is gonna work. So I'm just gonna flatten it again and show you. And you let go and it went flying. So there's your cute little box. Okay. Now we gotta make our little drawer for it, is what I like to call it. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is make the bottom portion of our drawer. Oh, I got a bit of a mess. I got to put some things away. I'm not going to need a ruler anymore. Okay. I'm going to get our Simply Scored tool. Get this out again. And on the short side, we're going to score it at 1 inch and 2 inch and 5 1/4 inch, 6 1/4 inch. And then on the long side, we'll go 1 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, 8 1/4. And 9 1/4. Just make sure this one's okay. Now I'm going to do some cutting again. So what you're going to do is the second score line in. You're going to want to cut like this up to the second score line, just like that. Then you'll do the same thing on this side. Just like that. And then on the end, you'll cut in tapered. Okay. Now when you're left here, you're also going to want to taper it a little bit. Okay, and the same thing here. Pull that little piece out of there. Ooh. There we go. Sorry, it's like paper surgery. Okay, so that's what you'll do, and you'll do the same thing on every corner. So I'll flip it around. Second line, cut up to the second line. Your first line, cut up to the second line, and then go to the end and taper it in. It doesn't have to be a huge taper, just a little bit. Again, taper it there. And taper it there. Now, because I know what I'm doing, I'm just going to taper on all these things. Pull it out of there. There's a lot of cutting, unfortunately. That's why I said you got to give yourself some time for this card. And taper it again. Oh, last little snip, finally. Okay, all these little pieces can go in the garbage. Get these all sent in the garbage here. So you'll end up with this like box shape here, okay, like a flattened box. And now we just gotta burnish the edges again. So I'm gonna fold this big one up. And fold this one. Fold this side. This one. Now on these little flaps, I'm not going to fold it the first, I'm only going to fold the second because we don't need the first one folded. Okay. So, and here, and here. Fold this side, and this one, and this one. So done now. I've got all my folds burnished. So it'll be like this eventually, okay? Now we need to attach some ribbon. So this is where this crocodile comes in handy, because what you're going to want to do is not the first square here, but this kind of like middle square, is you're going to want to put a couple of holes. And the crocodile's nice because it's longer than just the hand punch. So if you can see what I'm doing here, those are my little holes, okay? Now I'm gonna get some ribbon. Okay, so I've got my ribbon here. Now I believe, unfortunately this is retired, but this is some gold ribbon that I had. You could use any ribbon that you'd like. Just gonna cut a piece off. Put this in my ribbon drawer. Okay, so then what you're gonna do is feed it through these little holes. Should have almost used a larger hole on my crocodile, but oh well. There we go. Put this side through the other one. Oh, that's a good length there. Then what I'm going to do is put some tear tape down. Sorry guys, I know this is a long video, but there is a lot of steps for this, so. And I'd say this might be for more of an advanced stamper. Just going to put another piece of tear tape down. Tear tape on tear tape really holds it down. super sticky. But make sure I've got, this one will go. We'll go this way. Go just like that. And I'll put another piece on top just to keep it on there even more. Now it's just a matter of assembling your box. And I, again, like to use Tear Tape adhesive. So what you'll do is you'll assemble your sides first. Your short sides, I guess I should say. Now I won't use this much adhesive on the other sides of the box, but it's just because I have this ribbon here, I really want it to hold. So there, just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to put a couple pieces down on this side. 1, 2. I really love this Take Your Pick tool. It's saved me so much with removing the backing on some of this tear and tape. So you go like that. Now on these flaps, what you do is fold it in and put a piece of tear and tape, just like so. Remove the adhesive without sticking them to each other, because that's not how it goes. You lift your side up. Here it like that. And like so. And this is why I taper it, so that you don't have like the corners sticking up and it'll prevent you from folding it down. And do the same thing on this side. So get this flap going. Tear and tape on this flap. Just might Take Your Pick tool again. I seriously use this tool all the time. It's really handy if you've got fake nails, because it picks up a lot of things for you and then you don't have to get frustrated. Because I know I did in the past before they came out with it. Okay, so now last we've got these little flaps, which you'll put, which will be easier for me to do this way. You put one strip of tear and tape like so. Hopefully you can see that. Do it on the other side. Just a matter of remove the tape backing and folding it down. I like to take my bone folder and really squish it down. Make sure it's all glued. Do the same thing on this side. As you can see, actually I'll talk about this. My bone folder is well loved. It's the way I describe it. The reason why it's got ink all over it is because if you found that your new ink pad is having a hard time soaking up ink when you're re-inking it, you can just use your bone folder to squish it into the new sponge. Works. That's why mine is well used. Okay, so here's your little drawer, just to show that your little cube fits perfectly inside. Okay, so now we just have to make our sleeve. Okay, so this sleeve piece is 6.5 inches by 10.25 inches, and we do have to do some scoring on it again. Only on one side this time though, on the long side. You'll score it at 1.5 inches by 2 5/8. And then we'll go, okay, sorry about that. That was a little bit of my video cut out. Anyway, so here's your sleeve piece. I'll just go through the sizes again. You're going to score it at 1.5 inches, 2 5/8 inches, 5 7/8, and then again at 7 inches. And then you're going to fold and burnish all your creases, okay? And now I'm going to decorate the front of my sleeve first because I find it easier. And I created this little front for my box. So I used the Brightly Gleaming DSB, some very vanilla cardstock, some pretty peacock cardstock. This I actually embossed with some clear embossing powder using the Pretty Peacock ink. Oh, excuse me, this saying actually comes from that host set I showed you at the beginning, okay? And then I punched out some ornaments, which I used the Hammered Metal 3D embossing folder. And this foil paper actually comes in the Peacock suite that you'll find in the annual catalog. Sorry, I just had to take a drink there, it tickled my throat. So I'm just going to attach this to the front of my sleeve. Again, I'm going to use some tear tape, because I love me some tear tape. Makes adhering things really easily. Maybe not as fast as a snail, but it's, I think it's a little bit sturdier than snail. So when I'm making a box like this and not just a card, I like to use the tear tape. So there, I'm just gonna go and adhere this in between my fold lines, just like so. Okay, and then again, I'm gonna use some tear tape to complete the sleeve. Okay, so just like that. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry, I think I'm out of view. I'm just gonna take my bone folder and kind of, there we go. So then there's my sleeve. I'm gonna get my little drawer. Hopefully it all fits. Oh, it does. Woohoo! So that's how it'll work. Now I'll take my box and flatten it and put it inside. Close her up, and there you go. That's it. Finally. Longest video ever. What do you guys think? Please leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Again, I'm going to get this onto my blog, so you guys will have all the instructions and it'll be easier, but you can follow along with the video, okay? Thanks so much, guys, for watching, and happy stamping!